You might have seen my video from last year where I made every battle Rotom form real. And even though I explicitly said that I would
not be making any of the non-battle forms like Dex, PC, phone, drone, or bike,
it hasn't stopped people from asking anyways. So, for my final Rotom form, I chose the Toilet Form. And it might just be my best Rotom form yet. It's fit for any tush, has powerful cleaning action, and it even has catchphrases.
Wow, that's a lot.
So why am I even doing this? Well, last time I said that I made every single battle Rotom form. But since then, there's been some articles written about some alleged beta Pokemon designs that kinda got loose. And this toilet form just so happens to be one of them, which means I still have one more battle form to make. And technically, I guess this is supposed to be some sort of top-loading washing machine, but come on. It's a toilet. And I'll admit, I won't be the first YouTuber to model a Rotom toilet.
No, that goes hard!
It actually kinda goes hard! I won't be the first YouTuber to 3D print a toilet.
I think this would have just been better off as like a regular toilet.
I won't even be the first YouTuber to make a toilet with a bidet talk.
What are you doing?
I'm using the bathroom.
But I will be the first YouTuber to put them all together. And it all starts with this.
This is the Kiss Dream training toilet, I guess. There was a buoy training potty I wanted to go with, but this was just more the shape of what I was looking for. So what we got here is a bunch of plastic and this 2 flaps, I guess, and a receptacle to manually flush everything out, I guess. So it's pretty simple, and yes, right here is a button. Okay, so there's a lot of fun we can have with that. Besides that though, we have another container, and I actually have an idea of what we can use this for, and it involves what's in this pouch. You see in here is a portable bidet, and I think we can use the hose from the original design and add some extra functionality. You know, I swear I don't script these things. And to make it look even more like the Sprite, I think we can route everything through this vacuum tube I bought. Just kind of slot it in there and it'll look good. It'll look great, actually. It's gonna look fantastic.
Say that again?
Yeah, look, it's like these two things were meant to be together. I'll worry about that later though, because I think I can make this look a lot better. Speaking about looks, it's time to take some pictures of this guy because I gotta start 3D modeling. Now ideally I'd have a 3D scanner to do this, especially since I was taking these photos up close, which you're not supposed to do
because most camera lenses give a distorted view of the world. Do you really think my face is this shape?
But without knowing this, I went ahead and started sketching and modeling everything out with the photos I had. But yeah, definitely not the engineering way of doing this, so hopefully my measurements and photos just kind of magically work out. But now it's time to figure out the electronics. So as I showed before, this thing has a sound effect button, and it just basically works by pressing down on this. These 2 little pegs come down and press one of these 2... and presses one of these 2 buttons. But so I can have my own custom sound effects, I should be able to do the same thing with just a pile of scraps. This thing's called a D-Player Mini. You can connect it to like more advanced things like an Arduino, but it actually is capable of playing sound effects all on its own, which is really cool. All you need is a power source, a button to trigger the sound effects, and an SD card that actually has the files in it. Oh, right, and a speaker, but I'll be stealing that. Let's give it a test. Perfect. Okay, now it's time to print everything out. And yeah, this is gonna take a lot of filament. And I can't believe it, but even though this might be my stupidest project yet, a company actually came through to save the day and sponsor this project.
It's Bambu Lab again.
With Bambu Lab's A1 and AMS combo, it doesn't matter if you're prototyping the next $1 million idea or making a toilet for a stupid video. The A1 will be fast and reliable every single time. I mean, look at this print that I needed that touches every corner of the bed. With my old printer on the shelf of shame, that probably would have taken me like 7 tries. But I can count on my A1 to give me a clean print the first time. And with the AMS system, I can also do automated multicolored prints. No paint job required. Are you able to do that? That's what I thought. So if you've noticed the A1 in a bunch of my previous videos, there's a good reason for that. And I have to say, this is by far the most bang for your buck printer right now, so if you decide that the A1 is for you, check out my link to support the channel, and let's see how those other prints are doing. And a few days of printing later, we're ready to start putting everything together. And to prevent something like this happening again, I finally bought some activator spray for when I superglue. And that made the process go a lot quicker. And just like these parts fitting into place, I was really locking in. And while I'm pretty sure I shouldn't be inhaling all these fumes from the super glue and the adhesive spray in a confined space, I did it anyway, so hopefully my primary care doctor doesn't watch my videos. And everything was going according to plan until...
Whoa. That's a problem. That's a big problem.
Yeah, so one bad snip created one dead speaker. Thankfully, I have some speakers from some other projects. Alright, maybe this tiny one will work. I mean, it works, it's just crusty. Maybe if I had a second speaker. Alright, 1 for the money, 2 for the show. I'm gonna go with that's a no. Thankfully, I found a clever way to solve this problem. I just bought a replacement speaker. Sometimes money solves problems, alright? So now it's time to actually give this thing a voice. And I'll be the first to admit that when Pokemon gave Rotom the ability to talk, I was not the biggest fan. In the games, the Rotom Dex's dialogue is pretty annoying. And in the anime, the voice they gave to Rotom was...
That is so rude! I can record and I have a voice change function!
That. So when you hear some of the voice lines I gave Rotom later in the video, I'll just say I was enacting some Rotom revenge. Uh-oh! Stinky! It's a bit much. Okay, so because I have to be able to remove the top for the water reservoir, I can attach and detach the speaker with these 3 magnets. So when I put the lid on... Uh-oh. Yeah, this lid's not going on. Okay, so what happened here? Well, to put it in technical terms...
I messed this part up.
So after one quick redo print, we're back in business. And now, with no more hiccups, everything can finally... I forgot to paint the tube. Okay, now with the bidet reservoir up top, I can just slide the bidet tubing into place. And with some final details like this power brick casing and some toilet bowl cleaner to give the water some color, this build is complete and looks pretty close to the original sprite. But looks are one thing. It's time to put this toilet to the test. For this project, I need to make sure it functions as a toilet, as a bidet, and also as a buddy. So welcome to my bathroom where I have just enough room to film, and let's get started by testing its sittability.
Okay. I'm not hearing any... Okay, I heard one crack, but for the most part, this is holding, so that's good. And you know what? It's like they say, if I can sit, I can...
Surely continue the testing with this chocolate peanut butter, because I want to keep this video monetizable, alright? So, ignoring the potential camera damage, I guess I have to give the toilet test a pass. Now, moving on to the bidet. For this test, I made a graffiti ketchup M, similar to one of those M's you would find in Mario Sunshine that you have to spray down. So, let's see how it does.
Oh! Yeah, that was, pretty efficient, I'd say.
And while that might be a little too powerful for my tastes, the test wasn't on a human rear, so I'm also going to give this a pass. And finally, the buddy test. Can this toilet emulate the annoyances I feel whenever I hear a Rotom speak? That's a checkaroony, but I do have to admit, the voice lines get a bit worse from here.
You think God stays in heaven because he too lives in fear of what he's created here on earth?
If you want the project files from this video or some of my past videos, or if you just want to support silly projects like this in the future, consider checking out my Patreon. And extra special thanks to my executive level patrons:
Evan Timmerman, Pow Pow, Harley Jean, Grandma Watson, Marco Carini, Sally and Dave, Zebrmang, Jimmers, Don Necco, Jameson Zabalos, and Connor Rhodes.